Hey all, welcome to Homeschool ICSE channel. So in this channel, we mainly deal with ICSE syllabus for classes 8, 9, 10. We cover the subjects biology, physics, chemistry and mathematics. I initially started with chemistry and few chemistry chapters are already there for class 8, 9 and 10 as well. And I have started the chapter periodic table for class 10 chemistry. In my previous video, I discussed everything about the modern periodic table and its salient features. And in today's video, I will discuss everything about the importance of group number, importance of period number, and then about shells and valency. Okay, so let us quickly start the topic and see every topic will be covered in a detailed way. So you can share the videos to your friends and subscribe the channel to learn the concepts in the easiest way and in a detailed way. And not only for the ICSE board, the contents will sync with many state boards also, and the contents will match with the concepts of class 11 and 12 as well with chemistry topics. So any board, any class, if you want any basics in detail and if you want the concept in a easiest way, you can follow our channel. Okay, so let me first talk about importance of. Okay, I am dealing with the importance, or we can also say it as significance. Okay, so what is the significance of group number and period number? What does the group number and period number will tell when you look at the modern periodic table, right? So whenever I say the element belongs to second group, the moment you know that the element belongs to second group, you can come to know some information about that element, right? And what information you can actually come to know is what I'm going to tell you. And the moment I say, yes, the calcium belongs to fourth period. So what? If it belongs to fourth period, what does that mean? It means a lot. You will come to know the most important information about calcium. Okay. So what is this significance for group number and period number? Right? Very interesting. Try to understand the concept. Say, let me, draw the modern periodic table, not in a detailed way, just for the sake of understanding. Clear? So this is, we all know this is group number 1 and this is group number 2, right? And group number 3 to group number 12 will come here. And then let me write group 13, group 14, group 15, 16, 17, 18. Isn't it? Fine. So these are our 18 groups that we have in a modern periodic table. And coming to the periods, so you have this as a first period includes only 2 elements, isn't it? That is hydrogen and helium. And coming to the second period, you will have 8 elements. This is our second period, this is our third period, and this is our fourth period, isn't it? And this is our fifth period, sixth period, and finally the seventh period. Say very, very rough periodic table. I have it on the board. Fine. And now let us talk about the importance of period number. Period number. This is really very important, right? One must understand the meaning of this. Period number will tell you the number of shells present in a particular element. Okay, so what I can write here is period number. Period number indicates number of shells present in a element, right? For example, if you take a calcium, can you tell me where does the calcium comes? Say somewhere here. Say if this is a beryllium, this is a magnesium, and this is a calcium, right? Say that means your calcium, which has got the atomic number 20, it is coming in a fourth period, isn't it? And can you all able to write the electronic configuration of calcium? Yes. Say, how do you write the electronic configuration of calcium? 2, 8, 8, 2. Isn't it? So this is our electronic configuration of calcium. And if you want to write elaborate electronic configuration, it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2. Right. Say, can you tell me how many shells are there in calcium? See, this is the first shell. This is the second shell. 3s2, 3p6, third shell, 4s2, 4 shells, right? Say, looking at the electronic configuration, we can say that there are 4 shells in this particular calcium. Actually, to identify the number of shells present in the element, you no need to write electronic configuration also. Just if you know that to which period does it belong, you can tell its shell number. Since calcium belongs to 4th period, you know, it has 4 shells. Okay, it has 4 shells, clear? And the outermost electron and outermost electrons present, they are present in 4th shell. Okay, outermost electrons position is very important for us in chemistry. It's because the chemical reaction is due to giving electrons, sharing electrons, and gaining electrons. Okay, it's all about giving and taking electron business. Okay, so which electrons do participate in a chemical reaction? It is the electrons present in the last shell, that is electrons present in the outermost shell. So it's very important to understand how many electrons are there in a last shell, and the electrons are there in which last shell. Is it there in a first shell? Is it there in a second shell, or so on? Okay, so knowing about a period number will give an idea about exactly in which shell our last electrons are located. Okay, so what is the importance of period number? Period number will tell you how many shells are there in element, and period number will also tell you that the last electrons are present in which shell. Okay, so in case of calcium, the last electrons are present in 4th shell, isn't it? So this is the entire idea given by the period number. Okay, so now one more question that I will ask you. Can you tell me what and how many shells are there in magnesium, and where does the last electrons are present? Okay, so this is my question for you. Comment the answer in a comment section. Don't forget, and you know what, in my next video I will announce the name of the first person who gives a comment in a comment section, right? So my question is, how many shells present in magnesium, and which is a last shell, Okay, so very simple question I asked you. So if you can answer this question, I think you have perfectly understood the concept. Okay, so don't forget to post the answer in a comment section. Fine. Now that you understood everything about the importance of period number, and now let us go for understanding about the importance of group number here. See guys, actually a group number of a particular element will tell you how many last electrons are present in a particular element. Okay, say last electrons in the sense electrons present in the last shell. I already told you these last electrons, I mean electrons present in the last shell will participate in the chemical reaction. So it is very much essential to understand how many electrons are present in the last shell. So looking at the group number, to some extent you can figure out that how many electrons are present in a last shell. Okay, so that is what the importance of group number. So what will I write here? Group number signifies, or it will tell you the number of electrons present in last shell, and these electrons are also called with the name valence electrons. They are also called with the name valence electrons. Okay, so group number will always tell you that how many electrons are present in a last shell, or it will tell you the number of valence electrons present in a last shell. Okay, say for example, the first group elements, let me write here, number of valence electrons, I will mention group wise. Clear? Say in our first group, we have a element hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium, right? Say in all these elements, the number of valence electrons present is 1. Okay, so how many valence electrons are present in group number 1? It is 1. Their group is 1. So the number of valence electron present is 1. Okay, say I can say that group number is always equal to number of valence electrons. Number of valence electrons. Okay, so group number is always equal to number of valence electrons, right? Say, and how many valence electrons are there in a second group? It is 2. Okay, and don't worry about third group to 12th group, their properties are entirely different. So just by looking at the group number, you can't actually figure out how many last electrons are there. Concept is little different with respect to these groups. So let me go for 13th group. Say 13 means, they will not have 13 electrons in the last shell. So the number of valence electrons in 13th group elements is 3. Number of valence electrons in 14th group elements is 4. Okay, so just remove this one and consider, right? And here 5 valence electrons are there. In 16th group elements, 6 valence electrons. 17th group elements, 7 valence electrons. And in 18th group elements, 8 valence electrons. Okay, so here group number will actually tell you the number of valence electrons in the last shell. Clear, everyone? So now if I ask a question that how many valence electrons present, this is a shortcut of writing electron. This is actually a symbol for electron. Okay, so don't get confused whenever I write this symbol on a board. It means that electron. How many electrons present, valence electrons present in chlorine? So what is your answer? First find out where is chlorine coming in a periodic table. So where will our chlorine comes? It comes in a 17th group. So first is chlorine and next is Cl. So all 17th group elements have how many valence electrons? It is 7. Okay, so if you want, you can write electronic configuration and check it out. Say chlorine, atomic number 17, isn't it? So what is its electronic configuration? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5, isn't it? And last shell is third shell. How many electrons are there? 5 plus 2, that is 7. Isn't it? And if you want to know how to write this kind of electronic configuration, I have a beautiful video. Its link is provided in the description. You can just go and check it out. Okay, so you will definitely enjoy writing electronic configurations once you watch that video. Clear? Say 2 videos I have given in a description. One is a super trick and the other one is the entire concept behind writing electronic configuration. So both videos are there. Just watch and enjoy. Clear? Say every time you no need to write electronic configuration and decide how many valence electrons are there. Just if you know the elements group number, it is more than enough. Okay, since chlorine is coming in 17th group, it is having 7 valence electron, right? And now one more question, comment its answer in a comment section. Let me know the answer, right? So how many valence electrons, how many valence electrons are present in potassium, that is K. Okay, So don't forget to post the answer in a comment section. So this is your homework question. So this is all about the importance of group number. Okay, fine. And now we will learn about the shells and valency. See guys, we all know about shells, isn't it? See, electrons are always present inside the shells. This concept we have learned in atomic structure chapter in your previous classes. Okay. And you know, the number of shells across a period will remain same. Say, I first write down the point. Number of shells across a period remains same. So what do you mean by this particular sentence? You know what? Across a period means when you go from left to right side in a periodic table. See, this is the left side of a periodic table. This is the right side of a periodic table. Okay, say this is the left side and this is right side when I stand like this. So as I go from left to right side in a periodic table, you know what? From element to element, as I move on towards right side, the shell number will remain same. Okay, let us understand this with this particular example. Let me write all elements that come in second period. So in second period, from left, write down all elements towards right. So first leftmost element is lithium. Next in the second period, you will get beryllium. Right. Next in the second period, the element is in 13th group, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. So these are our second group elements. Okay, can you tell me how many shells are there in lithium? I always told you number of shells is always equal to period number, isn't it? So how many, say to which period does all these elements belong? They belong to second period. That means how many shells are there in lithium? 2 shells, right? In beryllium, 2 shells. Boron has 2 shells. Carbon has 2. Nitrogen has 2, right? So all these elements, since they are coming in the second period, all of them have maximum of 2 shells. Electrons are arranged in maximum of 2 shells. Right. So this is what the sentence means. So as you go from left to right in a periodic table, the shell number will not change. Okay. So that the period number will not change. That's what we mean by this point. Okay. So the shell number remains same. That is remains constant as you move from left to right side in a periodic table. Okay. So now the next point that I'll write here is number of shells. This is very, very important. Number of shells increases down the group. Okay, group in the sense what? Vertical column. That means as you go from top to bottom in a group, what would happen for number of shells? It will always increase. Okay, so how? Let me take one example for this also. Okay, let me take the first group elements, that is hydrogen, lithium, next is your sodium, potassium, rubidium. Okay, this much is enough. Can you tell me what is the period number of hydrogen? First period. Lithium belongs to second period. Sodium belongs to third period. Potassium belongs to fourth period. And rubidium belongs to fifth period. Isn't it? So, can you tell me period number is always equal to the number of shells. So, how many shells are there in hydrogen? Since it is belonging to first period, you have only one shell. Right? And how many shells are there in lithium? Since it belongs to second period, it has maximum of 2 shells. Its electrons are arranged in 2 shells. Sodium, 3 shells. Potassium, 4 shells. Rubidium, 5 shells. You see the number is increasing from top to bottom, isn't it? So that means the number of shells as you go from top to bottom will always increase. Okay, so these 2 points are really very important to understand. When you go from left to right in a periodic table, from one element to another, another element to another, in a row when you go, the shell number does not change. Okay, so in all the elements which come in a same period will always have same number of shells. Okay, whereas the number of shells always increases when you go from top to bottom in a group. Clear? So this is all about an idea of shells that you need to understand. Next, let us go for the concept of valency. See guys, valency is one more important concept that you have to understand. Say, if I have to tell its definition, it is nothing but combining capacity of an atom or element is called as valency. Or in other words, I can also tell valency as, number of, this is really very important, number of electrons lost or gained. Gained means accepting, or shared during chemical reactions is called as valency. Okay, say, I have already told you chemical reaction is just a business of electrons. Few elements give electron, few elements take electrons, and few elements share electrons. So why do they give, take or share electrons? It is to attain stability. It is to have 8 electrons in their valence shell. Okay, so when do you say an element is stable? In a valence shell, that means in the last shell, in case if they have that 8 electrons, then we say that element is staying in a stable state. That means it's very happy with electrons, and at that point of time it doesn't want to lose or gain or share electrons. Okay, say every element wanted to attain that stability. That means every element wanted to have that 8 electron thing in their valence shell, that is in the last shell. So most of the elements do not have that 8 electrons in the last shell except noble gases. So we say noble gases are highly stable, right? So why we say they are highly stable? If you write their electronic configuration, you will understand all of them have 8 electrons in their last shell. So they are very much stable. So every other element do not have these 8 electrons in their last shell. So they either lose electron to have that 8 electron thing in a last shell, or they gain electron, or they will share electrons to attain stability or to have that 8 electron concept in a last shell. Okay, so now valency is that number. Say how many electrons that an element is losing to attain stability, or how many electrons is it gaining during chemical reaction, or how many electrons a particular atom is sharing just to attain a stability. That number is what we will call it as valency. Okay, so now let us discuss valency group wise. And coming to the first group elements. Okay, let me talk about the first group elements. All our first group elements have 1 electron in the last shell. Okay, so usually the electrons which are present in the last shell are lost, right, or shared, right? So how many electrons are there in the last shell? 1, right? So these elements have a capacity of losing that 1 electron. If they lose 1 electron, they will have that 8 electron thing in the last shell. Okay, so first group elements always lose 1 electron when during a chemical reaction. So the first group elements valency is 1. Okay, say in a much detailed way, I can say the first group elements valency is +1. Okay, so the first group elements valency is +1. So what do you mean by this plus? Plus means these elements always lose electrons during chemical reaction. Okay, so for losing electron, we will indicate with a particular symbol. What is that symbol? Plus. Okay, so how many electrons they will lose during a chemical reaction? It is 1. So we say valency is just 1 or valency is plus 1. Okay, so we can say valency 1 or we can also say valency plus 1. Okay, and coming to the second group elements. Okay, so they will lose 2 electrons during a chemical reaction. That is why their valency is 2 or plus 2. So why we have put plus here? Because they losing thing is always indicated with plus sign. Clear? And coming to third to 12th groups, as I already told you, they are actually D block elements. No, they have a very different chemical properties. Their valency can be different. Too many valencies you will find for a particular element. Say all that we will discuss in a higher classes. Okay, so that's in class 12 and class 11. So now you no need to worry about group 3 to group 12 concepts for your 10th grade. Okay, so now let me go for 13th group elements. So in 13th group elements, how many valence electrons are there? 4, right? So they will also lose, they have 3 valence electrons, isn't it? So they will also lose those 3 valence electrons during a chemical reaction, so that they can gain stability or they can achieve that 8 electrons in their last shell. Okay, so that's why they will lose 3 electrons now, so their valency is plus 3. Okay, and coming to 14th group elements, and here you must understand that these elements have 4 valence electrons, 4 electrons in the last shell, and they cannot be lost. Okay, or these elements will not gain electrons also. Instead of that, these elements, which are the elements carbon, nitrogen, carbon, silicon, right, germanium, tin and lead. So these elements always share electrons with others just to have stability. Okay, so they do not lose electron, they do not gain electron during chemical reaction. Instead of that, they will share their electrons. So how many electrons these guys will share? Since they have 4 electrons in the last shell, they can share 4 electrons during chemical reaction. So their valency is 4, we say. Okay, so what is their valency? It is 4. And coming to 15th group elements. Okay, how many valence electrons are there in 15th group elements? It is 5. That means your elements like nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic. Okay, so all these elements have 5 valence electrons. You know what? They cannot lose the 5 valence electrons. Losing 5 electrons is highly difficult. Say 1 electron they can lose, 2 electrons they can lose, 3 electrons they can lose. But losing 4 electrons, losing 5 electrons, losing more number of electrons is always difficult. That's a very difficult process. At the same time, gaining these many electrons is also not possible. But you know what? These elements do gain electrons. How many electrons they gain? Can you tell me by adding what number you can have 8 electrons in the last shell? By adding what number you can have 8 electrons? Why do they attain stability? How do they attain stability? By having 8 electrons. Already 5 are there. So by adding how many electrons you can get 8? By adding 3 electrons, right? So that's why always electrons are gained. They will take electrons from others. Okay, so 15th group elements gain or they will gain or accept. How many electrons? 3 electrons. So that's why their valency is minus 3. Okay, or just 3 you can write or minus 3. Minus means what? Gaining electron. Okay, so whenever we write the sign minus, it means that the element is accepting or gaining electrons. Plus means the element is losing, and minus in the sense the element is gaining electrons. Okay, so 15th group elements have valency 3. right? And coming to the 16th group elements, 16th group, already 6 are there, right? So these guys also will accept electrons from others. So to make 8 electrons in their last shell. So how many electrons they can accept? It is 2 electrons. If they can accept 2 electrons, already 6 are there, so 6 plus 2 you will have 8 finally, right? So if they can accept 2 electrons, they can have that 8 electron thing in the last shell, so they will accept 2 electrons. So 16th group elements also gain 2 electrons, so their valency is -2. Clear? And coming to 17th group elements, already 7 electrons are there, just 1 electron is needed to have 8 electrons. So they will gain how many electrons? They will gain 1 electron, so their valency is -1. Okay, and coming to 18th group elements, so their valency is 0. Okay, so let me write that here. 18th group elements, 18th group elements valency is 0. So what do you mean by valency is 0? See, in their outermost shell, they have 8 electrons. That means they are very much happy with these 8 electrons. They don't want to lose electron, they don't want to gain, or they don't want to share, because if they do so, they will be, they will become unstable, right? They will be losing their stability. So they don't want to gain, accept, or whatever, share or whatever, because they are already stable with 8 electrons. Clear? So this is the whole concept of valency, right? Fine. And now the question is, what happens for valency when you move from left to right in a periodic table? Very, very important point. Valency, okay, what is happening when you move from left to right? I mean, from first group to 18th group, when you move, what is happening for the valency? You see, for the first group elements, you have valency as 1, later 2, later 3, later 4. So initially valency is increasing when you go from left to right, and later the valency starts decreases, right? So that point you will have to understand very clearly. Valency first increases, and then increases till what? Increases till which group? Till 14th group, and then decreases, right? This is what you have to understand. See, from first group to 14th group, when you go, valency number gradually increasing, and later after 14th group onwards, you will see the decrease in the number 3, 2, 1, right? So this is what the very, very important point. As you go from left to right, first you will find the increase in valency, and later valency gradually decreases. And now, as you go from top to bottom in a group, from top to bottom in a group, what would happen for our valency? As you go from top to bottom, okay, let me take the first group elements. As you go from lithium to cesium, what is happening for our valency? Nothing. See, all elements in a same group will have same valency, because all elements in the same group has same number of valence electrons. They have same outermost electronic configuration, isn't it? So this point is very important. Say when I ask you the valency of potassium, it is 1 because it belongs to first group. Okay, all first group elements have valency 1 only. All of them have a ability to lose 1 electron. Why? Because all of them have same number of valence electron in their last shell. Number of electrons in the last shell is 1 only. On losing that 1 electron, they gain stability. So they react in a similar way. Why is it so? Because the electronic configuration is similar to these guys. Okay, so this is really a very, very important concept. What I can write here, valency remains same. There is no change in the valency when you go from top to bottom. Okay, it is because the number of valence electrons same. Okay, or in other words I can say they have all the elements in a same group will have same outermost electronic configuration. Okay, so this is what our concept. Clear? So what will happen for valency when you go from left to right, and what will happen for valency when you go from top to bottom, and which group elements have what valency. Okay, so this is the entire concept of valency. So that's all about today's class. Hope you enjoyed. If you have enjoyed the class, post your opinion in a comment, and do subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in a easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you so much. In my next class, I will come up with periodic properties and periodicity. So we'll understand exactly what we mean by periodicity and what are the periodic properties and how they vary as you go from left to right and top to bottom, right? So that's all about today's class. Meet you all in the next class. Thank you. Take care.